Andrew Tate. Y'all remember Andrew Tate? Andrew Tate is locked up over in Romania. His appeal was denied, in which he's now required to do another 30 days. I've actually seen a video of him, or not a video, or a post where they were saying that he was saying that the place that he's staying in, or the prison that he's locked up in and being held in, is roach and lice infested. And then even in this, as he was being carted away, I guess as a result of seeing what the hearing is, he proclaimed his innocence.
Ask them for evidence, and they will give you none, because it doesn't exist. You will find out the truth of this case soon. Ask them for evidence, and they will give you none.
So the thing about it, though, is that as he's being led out, and as him and his brother are being paraded around, I'm curious as to what everybody else thinks. I find it interesting that, and I think the biggest thing that I take away from this whole situation, again, is that it's better to be rich than to be famous, because when you get famous, and if you get too famous, eventually you'll become infamous. There is nowhere that you can go, and it for real, like, there's nowhere that you can go on the face of this earth that you are protected from whatever it is society wants to impose on you. Eventually, and I hate to say this, but if he does not get out of jail and he does not prove his innocence, eventually they will kill his name, because it's much easier to kill your name than it is to kill you. They will kill his name, and then they will remove him from society, and then everybody will forget about him. That's how they do it. They will kill his name, and then eventually they will destroy him. That is usually how it goes. The only difference between what's happening with Andrew Tate and what's happened with leaders in yesteryear is that he's not black. It's the only reason why it's not as big of a deal as it really is to most black people, because black people is used to this. Like, black people are used to their leaders being destroyed and paraded around, and then they sit there and they replace your leaders with people that's not best for you. Nobody is ever going to come for Blueface and all of the latest rappers that's getting indicted and killed and all of this other type of stuff. Nobody is ever going to solve for the problems that we got continuing to fill up the prison industrial complex. Nobody is ever going to solve for the problems that we have when it comes to single motherhood and baby mama drama and everything like that in the family court system. We will never, ever, ever solve for the problems that face our society. We will, yeah, he's half black, but he's not, like, he doesn't really identify and talk about that aspect of his life, and most people don't see him that way, right? I see what y'all talking about. But the reality is that, listen, when I talk about people that identify and champion black causes and men in a general sense, they will always be under attack. Anything that is best for you in society, they will always make sure that you will see the bottom of a boot eventually. They will give you a little bit, but do not get too high on your horse. And I also think that we've been reprogrammed as a society. Listen, it's worse than we ever thought. And I'm going to tell you why it's worse than we ever thought. Because today, you know what I see more often than not? I don't even see women being the biggest advocates and culprits for what it is that I see was wrong in society. I think it's the men. The men, when I post a video when I talk about positivity, I did a live stream last night, impromptu, where I jumped on the screen and I talked about how it is that you can be successfully married, and I gave y'all some gems. I ain't give y'all all the gems because I'm overwhelmed with gems, but I sat and gave y'all gems. You know who the ones are, the ones that give me the most slack, that was DMing me this morning and sent me emails not liking what it is that I gave as far as how it is that you can be successfully married? Every single thing about the video was positive. Every single thing about the video was true. Every single thing about the video was conducive to what it is that you can do if you decide that you want to get married. You know who the people that gave me the most slack? You know who the people that give me the most problems? You know who the people that occasionally do a reaction video? You know who the people that cause me problems the most? It's not the women. It's not the women. It's the men. It's the men. It's men that control the systems. It's men that give me the problems and send me the emails. It's men that be having Twitter fingers and be DMing me all the time about what it is that they feel about me and how it is that it's men. The only reason women are even in a position that they are in, as far as to have any kind of power whatsoever, is because you lost your grip by becoming a feminist yourself, but advocating for and not being the person that you were supposed to be. There's no reason in the world why you can tell me that women that have been in power or has even had a level of power to where they can even vote over the last 50, 60, 70, 80 years has been able to make this much progress without the help of some men. Without the help of some men. The only reason I'm able to hold women accountable is because I first held myself accountable, and I'm a reflection of the thing that I'm advocating for. I'm the man that I would want my daughter to marry. No, Jay, everything. It is men or women. It's only one or two. You got to pick one or two. The overwhelming, you can't tell me what my experience is. Ever since I got into this game, ever since I've ever had any kind of level of visibility whatsoever, the overwhelming majority of all of the pushback that I've ever gotten in my life has come from men. Or men putting the battery in some woman's back to be able to do whatever it is that she's doing. And it's not all men. It's some people that's my dogs. It's some people that hold me down. You know what You know where the majority of the messiness comes from? Shout out to TB. TB says Andrew got high off his ego. You are a mixed race playboy in Romania yelling from the Caucasus Mountains about nations corrupt and how cheap the local women are. It's not high off his ego. As men, we're supposed to have ego. As men, we're supposed to have ego. We're supposed to feel ourselves. We supposed to want to take over things. We supposed to want to have as many women as we supposed to. Like, that is the nature of a man. It is nothing wrong with being a man. We are made in God's image. You are supposed to be a man. What I see happening with people is that they then start substantiating this feminist talking points by saying that you get high off your ego. I'm supposed to have ego. I'm a man. Are we not supposed to have ego? Do you want a docile man? Do you want a man looking to you for instruction, ladies? When did it become a crime to be a man? When did it become a crime to be a man? It's not women's fault at all. I see you in the chat, Amani. I don't consider myself a part of no sphere. I am a married man. I've been married for almost 19 years since I was 22 years old. I'm rich as fuck. I got an ego. I'm always going to have it. But more importantly, I spend a majority of my time pouring into people that add value into their life and giving them solutions, not just talking about the problems. But at the same time, I'm an equal accountability holder. So when I see somebody doing something wrong, whether it's a man or a woman, we're going to get that smoke. And when I see somebody doing something right, I'm going to give you that credit. I'm the same all the way across the board. I don't consider myself a part of anything. I am me. I'm my own man. I'm my own person. I don't need no crew. The only crew that I need is me, Rita, Leslie, Q, JR, and whoever it is that I do business with in my bag chasers. Everybody else, I don't need no validation. I don't need no crew. I'm my own man. I stand on my own too. But I'm just curious, when did it become toxic to want to do something that is in your nature, such as being a man? Masculinity is not toxic. Because if that's the case, then we'd also have to identify a lot of women and say toxic femininity. Is femininity toxic? No, I want a feminine woman. That don't even make sense. And male ego, according to what some of y'all would define it, I call it just being a man's man. I walk down the street with my chest out and somebody say, Anton, be humble. No, fuck you. I'm not being humble. For who? For you? I don't even know you. Do I owe you some money or something? Why do I have to be humble? Do I owe you some money, fam? Because don't sit here and tell me that I need to be humble. As far as I know, I don't owe nobody nothing. My taxes is paid. I don't owe nobody nothing. Be humble. You be humble. You shut the fuck up and get out of my face while I run you over in my Porsche or my S-Class. I'm not going to sit here and be humble for nobody. I'm going to continue to chase this paper. I'm going to continue to win. I'm going to continue to get this money. I'm going to continue to pour into people. I'm going to continue to add value. And we are not going to operate out of how we feel. We're going to operate out of facts. Leave that bullshit to the side. Stop having these talking points and start learning how to stand on your own 2 feet. Being a man is not a bad thing. Being a woman is not a bad thing. It only becomes great when we start to cross the two and say a man is a woman and a woman is a man. Now everything is all right, right?